station.
Stand by for an urgent bulletin.
Showtime. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
Ready.
This is the Bob and Jeff Show, starring Bob Lutz.
I hate to say this. I caught all kinds of flack for saying I was a Raiders fan, but I stuck with it.
Don't mess with me. I'm one crazy mofo. I had to pop a cop because he wasn't giving me my props in Oaktown.
Jeff Lutz.
Allow myself to introduce myself.
I wouldn't just say, oh my God, we're 1-2, the sky's falling. It happens.
You don't get to determine what the Chiefs
I do. I should.
No,
they
you
should
don't.
listen to me because I'm a voice of reason.
97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Don't touch that guy.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Tuesday edition, the Bob and Jeff Show, KFH Radio. I believe that was a new intro, was it not?
I don't like it.
How about that? I was really good in that one. Thank you, Max.
Wasn't listening.
Bob Lutz, Jeff Lutz with you for the next couple of hours. 869-1240. That's the IHOP hotline as we talk about a plethora of things, including the baseball playoffs. Mets even it up.
Mets, good stuff.
Mets even it up last night against the Dodgers in Dodger Stadium, one of the meccas of Major League Baseball. Will the Guardians do the same in maybe the mecca of Major League Baseball, Yankee Stadium, tonight? How do you feel about it?
I don't know. I feel like crap. How about that? I feel like absolute garbage. I don't enjoy this. This isn't fun for me. I'm in a dark place.
Isn't this what you want your team to do?
I watch the games paralyzed in fear. There's nothing friendly about it. There's no good vibes. We don't have our announcers. We don't have our home stadium. It's dark. It's windy. It's the Bronx.
Well, you looked
ominous.
out of your element last night.
No, we had one guy pitch poorly. I mean, let's just
describe being out of your element, and I'm agreeing with you. You're saying it's dark, it's windy. I don't have my announcers. You're whining. You're finding I'm agreeing with you.
No, you're not. I don't need you agreeing with me. I need you asking me how I feel and then stepping aside. You don't get to agree or disagree with.
Well, you describe being out of your element, and I said that, and then I get pushback. It looked to me like the Indians, the Guardians, didn't quite have their feet settled last night.
Oh, well, it happens. It's not like they played horribly. They had a bad stretch where a rookie pitcher who's never pitched in anything like that situation.
What about Alex Cobb? He's not very good.
Yeah, but you could deal with Alex Cobb giving up a run or two.
11? I mean, my goodness. So throw the ball over the plate.
Stop. It's one game. And who knows what's going to happen tonight? No one knows.
I'm pulling for you, but
it could be 12-0. It could be 11-9. It could be 1-0. You never know with baseball. That's what makes it so maddening.
Cole and Bybee, the aces, we won't have the wind. It doesn't sound like it was last night. It knocked down a few balls, but it certainly didn't knock down Giancarlo Stanton. My goodness.
Fine. Brian Rocchio homered too. Who cares?
He was good. Can I just say something?
No. No, you're not going to say anything that...
Is this how you're going to be? Because I'll get Duda right back over here.
Call him.
Duda, come on over.
I figured to be three-man today anyway. Is it tomorrow?
I don't know if he's available. But I'm going to say this about Giancarlo
There's
Stanton.
Nothing you can say about Giancarlo Stanton.
He's standing up there right now like he's the most confident hitter in the world. And I want nothing to do with him. I'm not pitching to him. I may not even look at him.
He might break his ankle walking to first, and I hope he does. I'm not one of those guys. I wish every bit of ill will on the Yankees, on their fans, on everybody who shows. They didn't even get to the game on time last night. You see all those empty seats at Yankee Stadium, your mecca in the ALCS. You're not going to see that in Cleveland. It's just gross. I hate the Yankees. It's not even that they're good. I just hate them. And I have fans.
I wish Duda
I have friends
was here.
who are Yankee fans.
Who? Give me one.
Zach Corder, who said, "I love you more than I love the Yankees," and I don't love you more than I love the Guardians.
You don't love Zach?
No, not more than the Guardians. And I don't love Jamin more than I love the Guardians.
You're kidding.
And I don't love very many people.
You love a baseball organization more than you love your friends.
Yes.
Well, that's a horrible thing.
If Zach was playing a best-of-7 bowling tournament match out at Fireside Lanes or whatever, and I'd root for him to lose right now.
That's a horrible thing to say. Did he reach out to you last night?
He reached out to me Sunday.
What about Jamin? Did he reach out to you?
No, Jamin hasn't reached out. Jamin's texting me about WSU basketball. And Jamin, if you're listening, I don't care.
Well, you do care. You just don't care right now.
I don't care right now.
And if you'd won last night, you'd be in a much better frame of mind.
I don't know that I would.
You would. And the Mets, listen, they're in a good frame of mind. All you got to do is go win tonight, and you're in a good frame of mind again.
Even
go home, tied 1-1. You got 3 games in Cleveland, and you try to win 2 of them and go back to Yankee Stadium and figure out a way to split those last 2.
I think Guards win in 7. It seems set up to win in 7.
Well, I wish you the best. We're pulling for you
and
here.
I'm kind of relieved that I'm going to Vegas and I don't have to just lock
That's a terrible thing.
on the Guardians. It makes me physically ill. I'm serious. I get ill during those games.
Tell me, don't describe too much detail, but when you say physically ill, you throw up?
Not that end.
Really? You get physically ill?
Yes.
What a weak-minded individual.
3 times during.
Do you know how many times
during Game 5
watched the Cardinals?
I don't like it,
and just thrive on it.
No, you don't.
I thrive on it.
No, you don't. If you thrive in that environment, you're not a real fan.
I sat down here for Game 7 of the 2011 World Series, I was on a roller coaster of emotions like you've never seen. My wife was right there with me.
That's different.
We were side by side on the loop-de-loop.
And you weren't happy. And
of course I was happy.
It just feels like something is being taken from me personally. This is an organization and a manager and players and fans who deserve to feel the feeling one time.
But you won't enjoy it.
Soda, blah, blah, blah,
you won't enjoy it.
Yeah, because I'm not
fake. You're not even enjoying
DJ LeMahieu, blah, 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 blah.
You're not even enjoying the journey. And when they get into Cleveland, Jose.
Yeah, because we're spontaneous.
The dumbest fans you'll ever see.
Yeah, because we chant when something happens. We don't just call out people's names like morons.
I think it's great what they do. And LeMahieu, by the way, not on the roster.
I understand, but it was funny.
It's great how they call roll.
No, it's not. It's stupid.
It's unique. Nobody else does that.
Let's call roll while 4,500 people are still filing in because
I think it's fantastic.
They couldn't bother to get here on time.
I love watching games at Yankee Stadium.
No, you don't.
Of course I do.
No, you don't.
I enjoyed watching the game last night. I'm not
what was
wrapped
enjoyable
up in it like
about
you
that?
are. Well, I like watching good baseball.
Good for you.
I mean, I'm able to look at
I saw a guy's career get wrecked last night, but I enjoyed it.
Well, that guy, like my wife said, I feel terrible for him. My retort to that was, this is the big leagues. Is that
what you said when Rick Ankiel was doing it?
This is the big league.
Exactly. You felt bad, and you had some compassion. Hopefully, when it happened to your guy, but not when it happens to somebody else. I think he'll be fine. Bo Naylor couldn't get in front of a ball to save his life, and he also can't get a hit. So what's he doing out there? Everything.
Herrera.
Everything.
Well, no, really. What do we get?
You can have Emmanuel Clase for him.
Really? That's how badly you want to catch him?
I want some offense in my lineup. Getting the last 3 outs is great.
No, we want prospects. What will you give us?
You can just take your pick.
What about Wilson Contreras? Would you give us something?
He can't catch.
He's not bad.
Ivan Herrera really can't catch. They don't even trust him.
All right, Pedro Pajes. What do you give us?
I'll give you a wind surge back. That's where he should be playing in Double-A.
All right, Jeff, beside himself. I don't even know why we want your team to get to the postseason because this is how you behave.
All this is just like when Lane Thomas hit the grand slam the other day. I went nuts. Obviously, it's just a release of emotion because you can't really do it during the game because again, you're paralyzed with fear, locked up, can't say or do anything. So when it comes out in extreme fashions, and this is what you're seeing right now.
Well, you need help. You need help.
No, I love this about me.
No, I don't. Nobody loves this about you.
Nobody? I don't see Duda coming to your rescue.
I don't see your wife coming to yours.
Well, I don't think she's listening.
She has to live with this nonsense.
She gets it, and she cares, and she
Did she watch the game with you last
she
night?
was in the room for some of it.
Boy, now that tells you everything.
She hung out.
That tells you everything.
She hung out. She was in the room. She wasn't really watching, but, we hung out.
Well, that tells you everything.
I'd rather not watch.
Well,
honestly.
then don't watch.
I have to.
You don't have to do anything.
I'm so looking forward to going home and taking a little nap so I don't have to think about it.
Why
for a
not
little
just
while.
sleep through it?
I wish I could.
You could.
No, I can't. I'm locked. I can't.
Well, that's too bad.
I was dead
You've
tired on
described an
the.
insane man.
I was dead tired on the drive home from Denver yesterday, and then get in front
I
of
hope
the
you
game.
let Aaron drive a little.
No, when my wife came and got us or traded, in Salina. Dead tired after that. She was driving, but then I get in front of the game. I'm just mesmerized.
That's
Probably
too
didn't
bad.
blink.
You had some opportunities.
We did.
Jose couldn't get a big hit.
Well, nor could Will Brennan. I don't
Well,
think.
I don't depend on Will
But I
Brennan
don't
to
think
get
he
big
should have
hits.
been batting in that situation.
I depend on Jose to get big hit.
He hit the ball hard a few times last
Yeah, but he
night.
didn't get the big hit.
He didn't.
Came up with 2 on, 3-run game. Had a shot at it. I mean, that's the guy you want up.
Got to be better.
It's the guy you want up. All right, here's what we have for you on the show today. Jeremiah Meeks, the head football coach at Wellington, will join us at 2:25. They're coming strong in Wellington. He's really done a good job with that football program, and we'll talk to him here shortly. At 2:45, Jesse Newell from the Kansas City Star will talk about the Chiefs and how the NFL's shaken out. And then later in the day, we'll have a game. The Jets didn't get it done against Buffalo last night. Who covered in that tilt? Do we know?
I don't know what the spread was or
It
the
was
score.
2.5. What was the score of
I think
that?
Buffalo won by 3, right?
What was the score of that ball game?
I don't know.
I know Buffalo won, but did they win? Did they cover? That's the question I have, and they did by 3. So we all got that game right. And I can tell you how the picks went, if you're interested.
Sure, go for it.
I don't know that you are. I mean, maybe you're not. I went 6-2. I did miss the bonus game. So 21, 24, 29, minus 6. 23 points for yours.
29 you got?
Yeah, and I missed the bonus game for 6. You had a good week. You went 5-3. You got the bonus game, so you get 10, 18, 27, 28, 35 points.
It's a lot of points, and I did well, and I'm proud of myself.
Duda went 4-4, but he did get the bonus game as well, and he got all his NFL big point games. 15, 21, 22, 32 for Jason Duda.
Not quite 35, but still okay.
And I had a good week, and I didn't even compete with you clowns because I missed the bonus game. Even Max had a pretty good week. He went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He went 6-2, missed the bonus game. Say that again.
Duda had 36.
No, he didn't. He had we're not going to go through this on the air.
I'm telling you, he did. I wouldn't lie to you. He had Arizona,
got Utah,
Texas. Yeah, he had 10 points in Colorado.
All right, shut up. Be quiet, man.
Cooking the books, Jeff.
So he won me?
He had 36, you had 35. Max had
Can't even
11,
speak.
12, 15, 23, 25. Lost the bonus games. He had 19 points. So a pretty good week for everybody.
And the big fella did not
Big
participate.
fella didn't participate.
DMP for the
and I
big
haven't heard
fella.
from him.
It's interesting.
What's going on?
I don't know. Has he detached himself from our show?
Oh, why wouldn't he after hearing that intro with you and the Guardians?
Well, a lot of people probably have.
I'd like to hear from Zach or Jamin about this series.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe Jamin can call.
I think the Dodgers-Mets series is a classic.
Could be, or why not?
Well, no, I think it's a classic.
Why?
Because they're two very interesting
They've been two
teams.
blowouts.
Right. Well, 7-3.
It was 6-0. That game was never
And
competitive.
the Dodgers had chances. Again, you get chances in the postseason, and if you take care of them, you win.
Yeah, but it's hard to score 8 runs no matter how many chances you get.
You got a lot of chances. They didn't come through, much like your Guardians last night. Didn't come through.
Whatever.
Okay? Let's call it like it is.
It's not. I don't want to call it like it is. I want to call Duda and Jamin and see if they can replace me permanently.
I'd love that.
Wouldn't you?
I would.
Good.
Get this sourpuss off this show.
I'm not sour.
Good grief.
I'm thrilled to be alive.
My team was in the playoffs, I'd be having the time of my life.
No, you wouldn't.
Absolutely.
And if you did, I would call out that behavior as disingenuous.
At my age, I would relish it. I don't know when I'm going to get it again.
I don't know if I'll ever get it. How about that?
No, I'm talking about just getting there.
Yeah, that's nothing. I've been there.
I
want
got
to
championships.
cash in.
I got championships. I just like the process of getting to the playoffs.
Yeah, you don't have any championships.
I got 64, 67.
You weren't even awake
82,
for 64.
06, and 2000.
What'd you do in the...
I got 5 rings, baby.
What'd you do when the Cardinals won in 1967? You went out and shot baskets by yourself.
I was dang happy, and my dad was happy. That was one of my favorite Cardinals teams, and I'll tell you why. Lots of reasons. Gibson, Brock, the usual, but they made a trade and brought Roger Maris over. And Roger Maris in that time frame, it was a single season home run record league.
He had 2 good years in the big league.
And when he came to the that guy had he had an aura. That's Roger Maris.
Yeah, but by 67, there was nothing.
He was an okay player. He's our starting right fielder for a World Series team. World Series championship team. Say it.
Well, Alex Verdugo might be a starting outfielder on a World Series.
Yeah. Say World Series championship team. Say it.
No. I won't.
Because you can't. Haven't had one.
I will not say those words.
I've been able to say it 5 times.
Is Roger Maris better than Alex Verdugo?
Of course he is. Are you out of your mind?
Just asking.
Roger Maris should be in the Hall of Fame.
Based on 2 good years?
Based on being what he was.
He had a decent career. In St. Louis, he hit .255 and .261.
He was a good player.
With 14 homers in 225 games.
Good player.
It's all right.
I like Roger Maris. You're not going to talk me out of it. He was on a World Series championship team.
He was on a lot of World Series championship teams.
In St. Louis.
You know how many World Series championship teams he was on? 3.
Well, that's what I call a winner. I like winners. I like people who win world championships.
Good.
You know that? And Duda feels the same way. We had to talk about it off the air yesterday.
No, you didn't.
We both said, do you think Jeff will get it this year?
I don't think Duda even likes sports.
Why are you lashing out at a guy that's not even here?
Did he not lash out at me yesterday?
Not really.
A little bit?
I don't recall, did he?
Or his text, passive-aggressive stuff over the weekend, texting me during games? Is that something?
That's up to the two of you.
That's not up to me whether he texts me.
That's how you two react to that. I didn't text you. You texted me last night. What'd you say?
I hate everything and want this to end. Something.
No, you didn't say that. You said that's Alex Cobb's last appearance.
Hopefully.
And you said that kid's ruined his career or something to that.
I like Cantillo, too. He was hopefully going to be a rotation piece for us next year. We'll see if he recovers.
No, we'll see. I wouldn't think he'd be. I wouldn't think he'd be done, but we'll see. All right, we'll take a break and return shortly. We'll talk some high school football Wellington, coming off a big win over Winfield, and they are gaining momentum. They've had a tough schedule, but I think they're a factor, and we'll see if Jeremiah Meeks, their coach, agrees. That's next.
This is the Bob and Jeff Show on.
Here's Jeremiah Meeks, the head football coach at Wellington. They are 4-2, winners of 4 straight. They have a game at Rose Hill coming up Friday night. Jeremiah, welcome. How are you?
Good. How are you guys?
We're doing well. We appreciate you coming on. So I follow Wellington. My wife works in Wellington, so we have kind of a connection to that community. This last win over Winfield, where you put up 63 points, beat them 63-29, indicates to me that you guys are playing really well right now because Monty Lewis knows what he's doing. Tell us a little bit about winning that game by that margin.
Kids played really well. We knew it was going to be tough coming in. Like I said, they're really well coached. Monty does a good job. That was probably the best game we've played as far as like a full game. It's kind of what we've been preaching. We've had some good first half. We've had some good second half. We haven't really put the whole thing put the whole thing together. And I feel like we did a good job of that. Kids played really, really well.
So I'm curious, Coach, because we were just talking in the first segment about my fandom for a particular baseball team. And, you know, obviously I have no control over the outcome, and it gets stressful at times. You have some control over the outcome of your team, but you're not out there physically playing the game. So how do you deal with the stress that happens during a game? How do you also kind of manage it and come down from it after a game and throughout the week? What is that kind of process like for you?
I mean, it's tough because you're essentially putting your game plan in some 16, 17, sometimes 15, 18-year-old teenagers. So you hope that you prepare them during the week and they're confident in what they're doing and that they know what you're wanting them to do. And then after games, I mean, I don't sleep very well during the week anyway, but after games, it takes me a long time to fall asleep because you just kind of replay everything. And you kind of, the more you do it, you just get used to kind of dealing with the stressors and figure out what works for you to de-stress. And, you know, and then, like I said, hopefully your kids are as prepared as they need to be and are ready to go.
Talking high school football, Wellington Crusaders head coach Jeremiah Meeks, again, on the road at Rose Hill coming up this Friday. You started your season with narrow losses to two of the best smaller schools in the state, Collegiate. Yeah, that was 22-19. Then you played Andale in a really interesting game and came up a little short in that one, 56-48. Both of those schools have been on rolls of late. The way the schedule is, and you finish with Rose Hill, El Dorado, they have a combined 1 win among them. Would you like to maybe flip-flop that and open with lesser teams and finish with the Collegiates and Andales, or do you like the way this one's shaken out?
I would rather – I mean, I don't mind playing them early, but it would have been – in an ideal situation, I would have played a team first before I had to play those two just to get the pregame jitters out. But I was happy with how our kids battled in both games. I mean, turnovers kind of got us the first game, and then the Andale game, it was kind of whoever had the ball last was going to win that one. So, but the nice thing about playing them early like that is you get really battle tested early, and then you've seen some of the best teams in the state early, so you know kind of where you're at and what you need to work on too. So.
Yeah, so you have a quarterback, Dusty Bannister, who's thrown for a bunch of touchdowns, a couple receivers, Carter Burnett, Grady Norris, who have done extremely good things at receiver for you this year. They're all seniors. Is that a case of those guys have been playing together a long time? What have you seen as far as the connection in the passing game and just their development overall?
Well, I mean, Dusty does a great job. He gets the ball where he needs to, and we're we have some really skilled wide receivers. We have 3 really skilled wide receivers, and he does a good job of getting them in space. And, I mean, these kids have been starting since they were sophomores. So, this is their 3rd year in the program and my offense, and they've done a good job of learning it and grasping it and know what they need to do. And we get them the ball in space and let them get after it.
Jeremiah Meeks was our guest. 4th year at Wellington as their head football coach. Took over a program that had struggled, and steady improvement in every year. So, Jeremiah, how close do you think you are to having this program kind of where you feel like it should be, where you set out maybe your goal to make it? How high is the bar, and are you close to getting over the bar?
Well, this is my 3rd year. I like. Oh, you're fine. I like where our culture's at. I think we've done a good job of developing that. And getting some wins and having good athletes helps with that. And the kids have bought in and they work hard in the weight room. And like I said, I think our culture is really, really strong. Something that will continue to be strong and help us stay on the upward trajectory that we are as a program.
Yeah, so what are you kind of looking to accomplish in your last couple games of the regular season? I'm sure you want to obviously stay healthy and things like that, but what do you want to see as you go into the postseason? Just any kind of areas where you feel like you need to sharpen up as that begins?
Obviously staying healthy, but we're really young up front, offensive line-wise, and they've just progressively gotten better. We've got a couple seniors back that were injured, and we've been getting them back in. One of our senior offensive linemen, he's been getting better and better. He tore his knee up during basketball, so he's played 2 games, and he's getting back in shape, getting back in the speed of things. So as long as our just keep getting our offensive line better, it's going to be kind of the big thing, and then just like I said, staying healthy and getting our wrinkles ready for playoffs and all that stuff.
Final moments here with Jeremiah Meeks. I go back a long way. I remember when Wellington was a powerhouse back in the day. Are you starting to get that feel back in the community? Are the townspeople starting to believe, or are they believing? How much has that all changed in the time you've been there?
We have good support. I mean, it was packed last week. I've seen the fan support pick up each year we've been here, and we have a good crowd each week, and they do a good job supporting the boys. So,
it's they've had such a good girls basketball program in Wellington in recent years. Just talk about, Jeremiah, when you go to Wellington, when you arrive there, you took this job. I'm sure you thought this was something that could happen, but what's it take? What's it take to get a program going in the right direction that had been not maybe going in the right direction for quite some time? How do you go about that? What do you do?
Just getting kids bought in, building that relationship. I mean, anything that's successful starts with a relationship, and getting a relationship built with the kids that they trust me, that they know that I have their best interests, and then get them in the weight room and start getting kids stronger and put them in positions to be successful, figure out what they do well, what they don't do well, kind of tailor an offense and a defense to that, and start getting them a little bit of success. And then you build a little more success, and then you recruit the hallways, and you start getting some kids out that may not have been out, and you just build depth and you build culture. And it takes a lot of time and a lot of hard work. Any coach that's done it will tell you it's not the easiest thing in the world to do.
Well, you've done a heck of a job in your 3 years at Wellington. You have Rose Hill on the road this Friday night. Right now, 4-2 on a 4-game winning streak. Jeremiah, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Thanks.
Little Wellington banter. My wife will love me for that.
The Crusaders.
Are you okay over there?
No.
I don't get it, man. It's a beautiful day out. You're in the playoffs. I mean, I'd give anything to be in the playoffs. My team's not doing a thing today.
Nothing.
No.
And I'm happy that we're in the playoffs, and I wouldn't trade it for anything, but you dread sitting there for 3 hours, not knowing what's going to happen, not knowing how you're going to feel from minute to minute.
Isn't that what sports is?
No, not all of it. I'm not Vikings Broncos. I don't feel that way. I feel that way watching one team.
But their fans do. That's why we're fans.
Yeah, but they don't care about this game.
No, but they care about their game.
And baseball's different. Football, you get one game in the playoffs, and yes, it's stressful, and I get it. I'm not downplaying any of that, but it's 7 games, pitch by pitch. Any of that.
What did Aaron Rodgers say about Mike Williams last night? I'm behind the times.
I didn't know that he said anything about Mike Williams.
I depend on you for this stuff. And, of course, then the Raiders trade Davante Adams over to the Jets. And I can't stand the Jets, and it's mainly because I can't stand Aaron Rodgers. And I hope they lose every game, and I'm happy when they do lose. And then the clown goes on Pat McAfee every week, and who cares? And why do we care? Why do we care about Aaron Rodgers? Can somebody please explain it?
Because people tell us to. He always puts himself in the news and in the spotlight, and he'll go on Pat McAfee and say nothing, and people think it's something. And it's
what did he say about Mike Williams?
He just said he ran a bad route or whatever. He should have gotten to this spot and didn't. Blah blah blah. By the way, yesterday you guys were talking about that kid at Boise State. I think you're the only 2 people on the planet who didn't know about him.
I'd heard of him, but I didn't know he was having this kind of a year. And neither did you.
Yes, I did.
And now you're going to come in here and you're going to make light of Duda and me. You're lashing out.
He's on the ESPN top headlines every week because he rushes for like 200 yards.
I don't watch the ESPN top headlines
on their website.
I didn't know he averaged 10 yards per carry.
Yeah, he's in the.
I didn't know he'd been at Boise State his entire career.
Well, I'm not saying I knew his biography.
I did a little digging on the kid.
I didn't go to his hometown and research him.
Why are you bringing that up? Because you gotta get back. You gotta get even somehow.
No,
you feel like in your world, I'm on the defensive now. If I can get this old man to crack a little, then I'm feeling. Look at you. You're smiling.
Yeah, it's funny.
You're smiling. You're feeling better. You don't even care about the baseball game now. You got me. Good job.
Good, thank you.
You feel good about it?
No, I feel better if I
do you feel good lashing out?
I'd feel better if I also told you that when you started having that conversation and you're talking about DJ Giddens being first-team All-American, I turned to my daughter and said, no, Boise State guy.
And that makes you feel better.
And then we called you
And what a horrible call.
You didn't like that call?
No, it was a terrible call.
I thought it was fun. Aaron enjoyed it.
So Davante Adams goes to the Jets. They're 2-4. They've lost 3 in a row. But I'm going to tell you, and this is what makes me sick. I look at the rest of their schedule. They could win a bunch of games.
Could. I'm not sure Davante Adams is a huge difference maker.
Because he'll help.
He's been throwing to Alan Lazard and Garrett Wilson a bunch.
They got the Steelers on the road. Hopefully the Steelers figure out a way. Then they got the Patriots, the Texans at home. So they could be 3-6. Okay. But then they got the Cardinals, Colts, Seahawks, Dolphins, Jags, Rams, Bills, and Dolphins. They could win a bunch of those.
That's a 7-10 team to me.
They could win a bunch of those games.
Well, they could lose some.
And I'll hate it.
They're not that good.
That schedule's not that good.
But they're not that good. So the other teams that they play are also looking at, wow, we could beat that team.
And I should like the Jets because they have our own Breece Hall on the team.
He had a nice game last night.
And normally, under normal circumstances, I'd be all over that. But under these circumstances, I can't.
Maybe we can get him out of there in a trade. Where would you like to see him go? And don't say the Raiders.
I don't really have a team.
I know.
It's a lonely feeling, man.
It's not that
even
lonely.
I'm talking. I don't even have a really. I don't really have a team. I even I don't know who it would be.
So what? You never have.
Yes, I have.
I was with
St. Louis Football Cardinals, the St. Louis Football Rams.
For a year or two. It's not like you were...
No, I like the Rams from the moment... I liked him in St. Louis.
It's not like you were coming to me saying, hey, watch this Tony Banks kid.
I paid attention.
When Kurt Warner got there,
I paid attention.
That was when it was easy to be everybody was a Rams fan.
Jesse Newell with us from the Kansas City Star, their Chiefs beat writer. Jesse, welcome. How are you today?
Good. Yeah, Bowling for Soup is me and Jeff, not you, Bob. That's our lane right there.
Yeah, I can't relate, but hey, I try.
Put some more respect on their name, though, when you say it. Bowling for Soup.
They got some bangers. 1979, Stella. They got some good ones. You can go back in the Spotify and find them. Yeah.
Almost.
I'll be all over it. I'm going to delve in.
Oh, I can tell right away you
Chiefs.
are, Bob. Yeah.
Let's talk some Chiefs. They are unbeaten, 5-0. They're just coming off a bye week. They play late Sunday afternoon against the 49ers in San Francisco. This is such an interesting NFL season so far because while the Chiefs are the only unbeaten team remaining in the AFC, I think there's a lot of pretty good teams in the AFC, and it's hard for me to get a clear-cut picture of who I deem to be the favorite. I guess you have to pick the Chiefs coming off 2 Super Bowl wins, but it's pretty interesting, is it not?
It is, and I think you pick the Chiefs, too, because they've won these games early, that especially the Ravens game, that's going to come down and probably make a tiebreaker for them, and the 1 seed is such an advantage. You get to play all your games at home, and you get the bye week that nobody else does. And, we know the Chiefs overcame that last year and still beat everybody on the road, but it's just tougher to do. I mean, if you keep having coin flip type games, odds are you might lose one, and you might not make it to the place you want to make it to. But, yeah, this is a great test for the Chiefs. I mean, their schedule actually lightens up after this, but San Francisco is about as tough of a game as they could find in the NFL. I mean, you see it from the Vegas odds. The Chiefs are actually a small underdog in this game, just like they were in the Super Bowl against the 49ers. So this should be a good one. And like I said, you would probably pick the Chiefs at this point, but this is sort of set up, even with the 49ers dropping a couple games, it's going to be one of the games of the season in the NFL, I would think. It could be another Super Bowl preview and definitely a Super Bowl review. So this should be a good one. And obviously, I think a lot of people will be looking forward to it.
Yeah, so speaking of Vegas odds, Patrick Mahomes is the betting favorite for MVP in a lot of places. FanDuel has him as that. I guess just the question is why. It can't be based on his current performance. It has to be based on what they believe and think he'll do, and he's given every reason to think that he can get back potentially because he wins Super Bowls all the time. So is it that, or is it fair to expect Patrick Mahomes to get to that level?
Yeah, it is interesting. I was going over his stats. I just had it in the story yesterday talking about the Chiefs left tackle, how he seems to kind of – Mahomes has had some happy feet, in the pocket because he can't feel comfortable. And he's averaging 242 passing yards per game this year. He has 6 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. And as you said, he's the MVP favorite right now in the betting markets. I have to think that's a narrative-based thought. You know what I mean? And by saying that, I'm meaning 2 things. For one, he was nobody's MVP ballot last year and then just was perfect almost through the playoffs and led them to a Super Bowl, and all the off-season content was, how did anybody doubt Mahomes? Why would you doubt Mahomes? All those sorts of things, and nobody wants to be wrong, again, about him. You know what I mean? They figure he's going to turn around. And then the second thing is the narrative for this is, even look today, like Aaron Rodgers gets Devontae Adams, an extra weapon for him out there when he already had other guys that are able to catch and be good on the outside. Alan Lazard, who's always been with him. Garrett Wilson, who's, one of the up-and-coming receivers. Mahomes, you look around, you go, well, he's got Kareem Hunt, who was released by the Cleveland Browns, and he's got Juju Smith-Schuster, who the Patriots paid $7 million to go away, and he's got Carson Steele, who, fumbles about once a game and is a rookie, and he's got McCole Hardman, who the Jets, couldn't get rid of quick enough last year in a trade. And so, again, the narrative part of this is that Mahomes is doing more with less, and they remain undefeated. But to your point, Jeff, I think if you're watching these games, if you're a Chiefs fan and watching these games, you would be the first to admit that Mahomes does not look like himself this year. He has not played to the level that they expect him to play. So I do think there is a disconnect there to be like, hey, this guy is the MVP favorite. He's playing that way. I don't think that at all. I just sort of think it's people in my position probably that are going to vote on this thing that might be a little bit concerned that they're going to be proven wrong again in the playoffs, and the thought that, hey, he's going to do more with less because the pieces around him are a little bit depleted without Rashee Rice, without Isaiah Pacheco, without Hollywood Brown in there. So it is a fascinating thing. I was just looking up those odds the other day as well, and I was surprised that he was still the favorite. But I do think that the human part of this is very much playing into that, and the fact that people still believe that he's going to be better the rest of the season, even with the limited pieces that he has around him.
Jesse Newell, our guest, covers the Chiefs for the Kansas City Star. I think he did look a little more like Patrick Mahomes in the win over New Orleans, although no touchdown passes. But one thing I look at with Mahomes, how is he able to spread the ball around? And he had 8 different receivers in that game. The leading receiver, as you alluded to, Juju Smith-Schuster, and the leading rusher, Kareem Hunt. That's what's amazing about this team, and it just feels like everything they do and everyone they bring in, even when we all question it, it seems to work out. And then, secondly, Jesse, I wanted to mention the defense because we talk about Mahomes, we talk about all these other offensive personnel. This is the best Chiefs defense in a while, isn't it?
Well, not only that, I mean, what they were not very good at. I mean, I've been on the beat now 3 years with the Chiefs. That first year, they couldn't stop anybody against the run. You know what I mean? Like every week, it was like sort of praying that Mahomes could get a lead so that the other team wouldn't run the ball, because any team that wanted to run the ball could. I mean, you go up and down the line, like Derrick Henry is on pace to have the most rushing yards of anybody, and the Chiefs shut him down week 1. Alvin Kamara had 4 touchdowns in a game earlier this year. Chiefs shut him down last week. Like any running back who comes to Arrowhead or is playing the Chiefs, Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier didn't do much in the Atlanta Falcons game. That has become a real strength for them. And whether you want to credit Chris Jones, who was tearing up people up front, Nick Bolton flowing as a linebacker, Leo Chanel, who's kind of an underappreciated guy at the linebacker, they've turned that into a real strength. I still think they have some coverage issues, especially in the middle. I don't think Drew Tranquil has played as well as he can play, especially in past seasons in coverage. It leaves a little bit of an opening there, kind of in the intermediate. But, man, I mean, this is sort of – I think all these things you just talked about, Bob, is kind of like what you don't talk about very much when you have a good coaching staff, which is they develop their players. The guys that are young become good players, like Trent McDuffie's a star for the Chiefs now. Jalen Watson, emerges as the cornerback, too, and has played great the last 2 weeks. And then when they bring in guys, it always works. Like, if I kind of mentioned this before, but like, if you are the Patriots owner, what are you thinking right now? Like, if you were basically begged by your GM to pay $7 million to make Juju Smith-Schuster go away, and then on Monday Night Football he catches 130 yards for the best team in football. Like, don't you bring your GM into the office going, hey, what's going on here? Like, okay, why can this guy go produce on the biggest stage for the best team, and I had to pay $7 million to make him go away? We couldn't figure out what to do with him here. And so there's just so many benefits over and over of a good coaching staff, whether it's young secondary guys for the Chiefs continually getting better and always getting better, and that way when their guys get expensive, they can move on. L'Jarius Sneed moves on from Tennessee. We're not talking about L'Jarius Sneed, are we? We're not really, because he's not played well at Tennessee, and instead Jalen Watson's playing well for the Chiefs. They always have this kind of system in place where they have guys getting better, and then anybody they sign that they bring into the loop that has played for the team before, they have this constant, system of guys coming in and rejuvenating their careers, whether it's Kareem Hunt or Juju Smith-Schuster or McCole Hardman. So it's a really, really good thing to have. And I think this is one of those weeks you really do have to give your flowers to the coaching staff, whether it's Matt Nagy, the offensive coordinator, Andy Reid, Joe Blameyer, the passing game coordinator. I mean, they are making things work and maximizing guys, and that's about all you can ask from a coaching staff.
Yeah, I wanted to go back to the offensive personnel a little bit, and obviously you never want anybody to be injured, especially long term, like a lot of the Chiefs guys are. But is there a silver lining in that it allows Mahomes to spread it around a little bit more? He's always been successful doing that. And long term, do you think that is the play, or when they get into games with Buffalo and Baltimore and Houston, perhaps in the postseason, will they need to have kind of a focal point of the offense?
So I think Mahomes is really good at playing chameleon. And what I mean by that is his first year starting the league, he was the second in the NFL in average depth of target, how far his average pass sailed downfield. Last year, he was second lowest in the NFL. This year, he's either lowest or second lowest in the NFL. He's become like Tom Brady. You know what I mean? Like, they don't have the pieces. They don't have the downfield threats. so he plays within the scheme of the offense. And I think that's what Andy Reid and Matt Nagy are so good at scheming up is they are all about space. I mean, they're kind of like the Warriors are in the basketball. You know, they're that in the NFL where they're like, we want to open up guys where they are so wide open that it's easy to distinguish and find those guys. As long as you have the answers to the test, you can throw it to Noah Gray, but he's going to be wide open, and he can gain 18 yards just as well as any backup tight end can gain 18 yards because you're just not putting the ball in danger, and he is in a space because Travis Kelce is taking up this safety because, McCall Hardman's taking up this guy in the perimeter. So I think they are really good at this. Now, is it what you want with Patrick Mahomes? I mean, probably not. Like, you probably want him to be able to use up all of his abilities, use his deep ball throwing, use his ability to read downfield. But, I mean, that's just not what the Chiefs can do right now because what we talked about, the personnel is a little bit limited. So I still think they're going to go get a receiver. I mean, we've seen a bunch of trades happen today in the NFL. Amari Cooper, went to a different place. Devontae Adams. I still think the Chiefs will be in the market to get a guy. They've done that the last 2 years, whether it was Kadarius Toney or McCole Hardman. I think they'll be in the market for that. But when that doesn't work, I think to your point, Jeff, I mean, they have found a way. There was a next-gen stat last week that Patrick Mahomes had 0 tight window throws against the Saints. I mean, he just took what was there, made mostly short passes, and he threw for a bunch of yards, and the Chiefs' offense was successul. So it is one of those, if it's not broken, you don't necessarily want to fix it, but I do think they would love to add just a little bit more talent to that room just to say, okay, if you can get Patrick Mahomes working on 90% capacity instead of 70% capacity, how much further can this offense go? But he's pretty good at 70% too, and that's what we've seen in the Saints game is that if they can nickel and dime their way, they'll find a way, and that's what we saw from the Chiefs this past game.
It's remarkable. It's a remarkable franchise. I mean, if you'd have told me they wouldn't have Pacheco, Rice, and Hollywood Brown, and they'd be 5-0 and Super Bowl favorites, I don't know. It's just kind of hard to explain, but you do a great job of explaining it. Thank you, Jesse.
All right, appreciate it, guys.
Thanks.
All right, Jesse Newell from the Kansas City Star. I don't get it. I mean, you look at. I was just sitting there looking at their personnel. Kareem Hunt, Carson Steele, Samaje Perine, Travis Kelce, who's playing better, Juju Smith-Schuster, Justin Watson, Xavier Worthy, who's been okay in spots.
He's found his moments.
He's had moments, but he's not a superstar right now.
Not yet.
Not
Maybe never
Tyreek
will
Hill.
be, but he's serviceable. And
Well, yeah, but he's not. Remember that first game?
yeah, he was unbelievable.
We thought, whoa. Say that 5 times.
Not gonna.
We thought, whoa.
I know. Not in the mood.
All right, we'll take You're never in the mood. I'm always in the mood.
Of course I'm in the mood sometimes.
Whoa. That'll be the theme of the day.
Is the day almost over?
Why are you so mean?
I'm not mean.
You're going to see the Eagles this weekend. Why aren't you excited about that?
I am excited.
It's hard to tell.
But it's we got to fly, and that's stressful.
Tough life.
It is hard.
All right, we'll be back. We've got an hour left. Stay with us.
It's showtime, baby. You'll go wacko, bananas, nuts, crazy, unbelievable.
This is the Bob and Jeff Show, starring Bob Lutz.
You don't have any idea
I
what
have
my
so
life
many
was
ideas.
like before you came along. You know, most people want to have kids and they settle in, and that's all good.
I hear ya.
Jeff Lutz.
I know that, dude.
It's hard for me to believe that you folks don't understand the way of the world.
No duh, right?
97.5 and 1240 KFH.
And it's going to be legendary.
We're back. Hour number 2, the Bob and Jeff Show on KFH Radio. Tomorrow, it could be the 3-man booth. It could be just Jeff and Duda. I'm not sure yet.
It'd be nice to.
It could be just you and me. I'm not sure.
It'd be nice to get out to the facility and play catch with Duda before I head off to Vegas.
Part of our situation tomorrow here at the Hacienda, we definitely won't be doing the show here tomorrow. The electricity will be off all day long as the kitchen remodel moves into its final phases. We see light at the end of the tunnel, although there's still a lot to do.
Still a tunnel.
But it's going to come together.
Yeah, it is coming together, it seems.
What do you think of it so far?
Looks like it could be a nice little project.
See, you just won't give up anything.
What do you mean?
What do you think of it so far?
I thought I said it well. It looks nice.
You're just not effusive at all.
See what that floor looks like.
The floor looked great.
Sure it will.
We picked out a lot of good stuff. I think we did a fantastic job, but we'll see.
What does that make you think about the rest of the house?
I love the rest of the house.
You're good with this downstairs area?
Oh, I love this downstairs area.
All right. I mean, I like it too, but is it match your vision?
Absolutely.
Okay.
This couldn't be better now that we did a lot of work here in the fall, last winter, and I love how this room is. This is my room, man.
I feel you.
I'm in here all the time.
Thought maybe you want to put some wallpaper up.
No.
All right.
Not wallpaper. I want to take wallpaper down. I got one more area I need to get wallpaper down in.
Where's that?
The entryway and the
you don't like
way upstairs.
You're not a wallpaper guy?
Well, I don't like wallpaper. I want paint.
I feel you.
These aren't things you think about.
Not really.
They're things I think about.
I don't think about them much.
I've always thought about them. I like this kind of stuff. At our Leslie Rudd Learning Center, I picked out a lot of that stuff.
I figured you probably did.
It looks pretty good, doesn't it?
As the executive director.
Looks pretty good, doesn't it?
Looks great.
I had guidance. I had help, but I ultimately made the call.
Who is your number? Why didn't you ask me about?
Because you don't have a feel for this
interior design aspect.
You don't have a feel for this stuff.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know if I do or not.
Well, you didn't do anything about your house. You didn't have anything to do with that.
Yeah, I didn't really want to move at the time. So I was a reluctant participant. And it's worked out fine.
Now, would you want to move now?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
You'd want to move now?
Oh, from where I currently live?
Yeah, from where you live now.
No, I thought you meant back then, knowing what I know now.
Well, you had a nice house.
Yeah, it was nice.
It was perfect for you. You had a place downstairs you could escape to.
Yeah.
I got to have an escape, man.
There's only two of us. I can go places if I need to escape.
Where do you escape to?
Usually the bedroom.
Well, which bedroom?
Mine.
Mine? Isn't it yours?
Ours, whatever.
What do you... Anyway.
The one that we have together as a couple.
86, I would hope. 869-1240 is the phone number. Buffalo gets Amari Cooper as a trade acquisition. That'll help.
I'm sure he's thrilled.
Josh Allen. Well, he gets out of Cleveland.
Gets away from Deshaun Watson and all that just bad energy surrounding that entire franchise.
I made the statement. I kind of regretted it. The AFC does not look all that strong. And the teams that are strong, Buffalo, Baltimore, the Chiefs have already beaten. They play Houston later in the year. That'll be big.
It will be good. Did they beat Buffalo?
They did. The Texans are 5-1, but they've won four relatively close games. Four very close games. They beat the Patriots by 20, and then their loss was a blowout loss to Minnesota. They have the Packers this week in one of the big games of the weekend.
Yeah, the Chiefs did not beat Buffalo. They beat Cincinnati.
Well, they beat Buffalo last year.
They did. They always beat Buffalo. I don't know if they beat Buffalo.
They'll handle Buffalo.
I'm not worried about Buffalo.
Are you a Chiefs guy?
Not really. Not anti-Chiefs. I'm anti-Cleveland Browns. That's it.
I feel the same way. I'm not anti-Chiefs anymore. But I'll tell you, the NFC is where it's at, and especially the NFC North.
Are we going to get 4 playoff teams out of that division?
I don't think so because they'll knock each other off. And there's some other good teams. Tampa's good. Atlanta's good. Washington's good. But yeah, You could.
So maybe Tampa and Atlanta ruin.
Here's Duda. You want to hear Duda?
Sure, yeah.
3-man tomorrow. This is like you. What's wrong with people?
Did you say like probably or something?
I will try to make it. What do you get from that?
I don't like it.
What do you get from it, though?
I know what you get from it.
What do I get from it?
You get this guy won't commit, or this guy won't give a straight answer, and it bothers you.
I will try to make it. You know, can you imagine me ever sending that answer back?
Kinda.
Really?
Yeah. Haven't you said that about every one of Jackson's soccer games?
I'll try to make it.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I can imagine that.
I'll try to make it.
Right.
Things come up.
He'll try to make it.
But I have a reason.
What do you think he's trying to do? What do you think that effort looks like from him? Like, I got to try to make it. What does he put aside to try to make it to the show tomorrow?
A nap.
Something like that. Can't be anything important.
I mean, I don't know exactly how his life works. I don't think anybody does.
No.
Sounds like he goes to work early in the morning at UPS, works there until...
I don't know if he works there every day, though.
Mid to late morning. I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes he goes to the golf course, although that's probably wrapping up.
Seems like it would
although
be.
This is a pretty good day to golf right here.
I don't know what his schedule looks like.
So we don't know. He doesn't tell us.
But he will try to make it tomorrow.
He doesn't tell us things.
Tell him that...
And then the big fella is completely off the radar.
He's MIA. He may have sent me a text. When's the last time he texted me?
Anthony?
Yeah.
What'd he say?
Or maybe a...
Did he send you his pics?
No, we were talking Thursday, though. That's what's interesting. Oh. I didn't even see that he sent this. I'm working 2 to 12:30. That's why I can't do my picks today.
Well, did he?
I would have then said, hey, you can send them. I didn't even...
Yeah, why didn't you?
I didn't notice that he even said that.
You didn't notice?
No, I think I was outside, maybe. There was a glare. I just wasn't locked in.
Well, then you go over.
Why do I go over?
Well, poor Anthony, all you had to do is tell him, send them to me.
I bet he didn't even watch the games. Maybe if we ask him what he thinks happened, we can give him those points.
He watches the games.
He worked.
He's the most informed guy here. When I have Anthony on this show, I got to be on top of my game.
And he texted me on the 11th on Facebook.
What'd he say?
He sent me some video or something. I don't have Twitter.
Well, the kid needs to send us his pic.
This is spot on. Hopefully, what do we do about that?
I don't know. I need to talk to him.
I don't know. Do we send him only 16 games this week? And he's got to pick all of them?
No.
1 through 8?
No.
Twice?
We don't do that.
Well, I'm just saying.
I don't know.
There's got to be a solution.
There's no solution.
So he's just done for this week.
The kid's got to get it going, man.
He's taking himself out of the equation.
I think he has.
So do we replace him?
No.
Give somebody a fresh start, David Michael Hahn?
No, David Michael Hahn isn't a factor on this show.
I bet he didn't watch the games.
And no offense, David, but until you drop one of the names, I don't call anybody David Michael. I don't have a friend. Hey, John Leslie Parsons.
Why don't you?
Douglas Lee Baber. Hey, Ronald James Keller. Hey, Wayne Eugene Gifford.
Why do you know all their middle names?
That's weird, isn't it?
Kinda. I mean, I don't know.
But I do know them all.
Thinking about how many friends I know their middle names. Randy, Scotty, Chris. I think Chris. Yeah, I think Chris.
Yeah, but I've known them forever.
Maybe. I went to the Lebanese.
And those are the only ones. That's how you know you're close to somebody, right?
Sure, David Michael Hahn.
But I never said, hey, Douglas Lee Baber.
How do you know his name?
Come on the show.
How do you know his name isn't David Michael Jonathan Hahn?
Well, if it is, he's got more problems.
He's got two first names.
He's got more problems than he can handle.
I went out to the Lebanese dinner on Saturday to support the kid.
That's fine. Are you in love?
Yeah, a little bit.
That's so weird.
Why?
That you're talking about it all the time.
What do you mean? He's a part of the show.
he's part of the show when you're on.
He's been more part of the show than the big fella, no offense. Well, big fella calls. So that's a little different. I don't know. It's tough. But the Lebanese dinner was very good.
I'm going to break something to you.
What are you going to do?
The only people who are part of the show are people who are on it when I'm on it.
Really? You hosted once with David Michael Hahn.
I don't remember that, did I?
Had a good experience with him. Yeah, he's a wonderful...
Did he like it?
He's a wonder... No, not really. He's a good guy, though.
Why don't you just think of him while you're watching the Guardians? Maybe it won't hurt so bad.
No, that's not going to work.
Maybe that'll help.
There's no...
He's the pain.
I
wish Duda was here right now.
He gets on my nerves sometimes, too.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Because he's just so nice. Like, try to get in little tiffs with him sometimes.
You're insufferable. Ooh. I hope the Yankees...
Why am I insufferable?
I hope the Yankees bring it out tonight.
Well, they probably will. And then you're going to feel good about it tomorrow when I'm miserable and Jason Duda's trying to make the show?
Well, you won't be... It might just be me and Duda tomorrow.
Why?
Because if they lose, I don't want you here.
Okay. Well, then I hope we win. I want
to... Seriously.
I mean, that's a good incentive for losing. But I want to win.
You're not on tomorrow.
But I want to win.
How about that, though? That makes it a little...
I don't like that.
That makes it a little better.
I will be insufferable, but I don't like that.
Yeah, but if you don't win, you're not on.
But then, this is weird. This is the most important week of my life. I think that's ever happened. I got a chance to go to the World Series.
That is so much. You do?
No, I'm not physically going. I'm just saying my team does. And, the Eagles. Wrapping up, maybe. We'll see how that goes.
That'll be disappointing.
What will?
I just feel like you're going to see the Eagles and you're going to think, wow, this is an impressive light show. And you're going to leave and you're going to say, they played the same 15 songs they always play.
Well, they play 20 songs.
And they'll all be songs you've heard a million times.
Oh, 1,000,001 ain't really going to bother me that much, to be honest.
Wouldn't it be great if they did some kind of cover or...
And maybe this is the show where, as Don said, they start to mix it up a little bit. They didn't.
You said that?
Yes.
I'd have to hear it to believe it.
Well, I'll see if I can find it.
Maybe they do a Petty song.
No, they do After the Thrill Is Gone or something.
No, I'm talking about somebody else's song.
Oh, I couldn't stand that. I don't want that at all.
Really?
No. I'm here to hear the Eagles. He doesn't even let Vince Gill. I mean, Vince Gill doesn't even do his own songs.
Maybe they do.
Anymore.
They did a Buffett song, didn't they?
Yeah, 2. And don't throw something together.
What'd they do?
Come Monday and Fins.
Who sang Fins?
That was
Timothy B. Schmidt, wasn't it?
No, Joe did Fins. Timothy did Come Monday.
I'd love to hear that.
I think there might be still online somewhere.
I'm going to have to look at that. All right, you got a game for us?
Yeah.
Is Max playing?
Max will play.
Will I win?
Yeah, I think so. But it's going to be tough.
Did you notice I found that hair you were talking about?
Yeah, well, thank goodness.
And I pulled it out, baby.
You just ripped it out?
It hurt.
It did?
I felt it.
That's weird. I wouldn't imagine.
It's got to come out of your skin.
But it's so thin hair.
Yeah, but it's got a follicle. I checked to see if it was bleeding.
Really? That's wow.
All right, time for a break. This is the Bob and Jeff Show on your favorite sports station, KFH.
This is the Bob and Jeff Show.
It's time to play the game. Time to play the game.
It's Tuesday. That means it is time to play the game here on the Bob and Jeff Show. What do you have?
We got U.S. presidents today.
I'm all over.
We are. I'm gonna.
Can I look at my list of U.S. presidents?
You absolutely cannot.
Can I have that in front of me?
No, because that's what the game is. I'm going to tell you the president. You tell me what number president they are. George Washington first, as an example.
Well, that's just crazy. There's no way.
And any year that they were president. So if you get either of those on the dot, so any year that they were president, you get 3 points.
What if you get
or if you get it within 3, you get 1 point. Either
Max,
one.
You like this game?
Oh, no. I couldn't tell you.
Nobody memorizes this anymore. I may have when I was in
I'm
third
not asking
grade.
you to memorize it. I'm asking you.
I'm talking about you couldn't do it.
I'm asking you to take educated guesses.
You couldn't do it.
If I thought about it long enough,
in the fourth grade, I might have been able to do it.
Well, we'll see how you do it now.
But I don't remember now. Go. Who goes first?
Max goes first, or do you want to go second?
Max, you want to go second?
I'll go first. We'll see if we're smarter than the fourth graders.
All right, your first president. You need to tell me which number in order he was, and any year that he was president is Andrew Johnson.
Well, that's
fourth.
Tough.
I don't know. 4.
Later.
Incorrect.
Do I get to guess?
Do we get steals in this game? I'll say yes.
You'll say yes.
Yeah. But for only 1 point, no matter what. Within 3 or
13.
Incorrect. Max, would you like to guess a year?
1864.
You are within 1.
Really?
You get a point. Yes. I thought most people knew that he followed Abraham Lincoln.
I should have said that.
And he was 17th, 1865 to 1869. Bob, Warren G. Harding.
Well, now that's just ridiculous.
Warren G.
Maybe the worst president we ever had, and I got him.
Wasn't he the shortest, too, right? I mean, the shortest term?
I don't know what he was. He might have been the greatest for all
24.
Incorrect. Max, for the steal.
He was a short term. He died in office. I think he was the one. I don't know. I'll say 17.
Andrew Johnson was just 17th.
Oh,
Are you paying
I don't
any
know.
attention?
I can't.
A year?
Do I get the year?
Yes.
Warren G. Harding. Seemed like he was early 20th century. 1904.
Incorrect. Max, would you like to try to steal that one?
Sure, why not? Let's see. I'll say 1912.
Incorrect. He was our 29th president, and he served from 1921 to 1923.
Doggone it.
Max, John Tyler.
Who?
Give us one.
Tyler.
Nobody even knows.
I didn't even know he was a president. I'll say
he has living grandsons.
I'll say 8.
No, you got it within 3.
Seriously?
That's correct. Yeah.
What?
He got it within 3, so he gets 1 point.
What president was he?
He was 10th. And a year.
1886.
Incorrect. Would you like to attempt a steal?
Well, he was the 8th president?
He was the 10th president.
The 10th president.
Yes.
So that would have been roughly 40 years after Washington. So I'll say 18. We had some 2-term presidents. I'll say 1840.
Yeah, you got it within a year. 1841 to 1845. It is 2-1, Max.
What do you mean 1? I just got it within a year.
Yeah, that's a 1 point as a steal.
Who's up next? Me?
You are. William McKinley.
Oh, my God.
William
McKinley. William McKinley.
Yeah.
You're really going with that.
I sure am. Some of them get easier on the way.
William McKinley, 1830.
No, we got to guess the year, the number first.
Oh. 10, 8.
No. Max, would you like to guess? William McKinley?
I think he was on Big Bill. 22.
Yes, that's correct.
What?
25th. He gets it within. Do
you even know the rules?
Yeah, he got it within 3, and he stole. But you get to now guess the year.
I get to guess the
Yes,
year.
because it's still your player.
The 25th president.
He was the 25th president.
1920.
Ugh, darn it. Max, would you like to guess?
Oh, I'd say 1934.
You guys are both way off. 1897 to 1901.
Gone it.
Well, I was just a kid then.
Bob's gonna be mad, but you get some.
Wait a minute.
You get some easy ones too later. George H.W. Bush.
Oh my gosh. That's just
I'm trying to remember
ridiculous.
which Bush is which.
H.
Herbert
W.
Walker.
Bush. H.W.
41.
Number president first.
I have 41.
Yeah, that's 3 points.
That's so easy.
Nailed it.
I was trying to. I don't know what the other Bushes. They have so many initials.
Would you like to try to guess the year?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Of course he would.
He was sworn in 89.
Yeah, that's correct.
What? That's.
It is now 9-1.
Well, yeah, but you're giving him the easy ones.
You get some easy ones later. This one isn't tough. How about a little Herbert Hoover?
Herbert Hoover?
Yeah.
Mister, we could use a man
Herbert
like Herbert Hoover again.
Well,
Archie,
I have to count. I have to go back and count.
Try to go back.
41.
Count.
I'd say 30, 34.
You got a point. 31st. Would you like to guess the year that he was president? Any year that he was president.
Yeah, I would.
Let's hear it.
He was before Truman.
Well, before.
Well, I said he was before Truman.
He sure was. That's accurate.
1920.
Ah, doggone it. You keep guessing that. It keeps being wrong. Max, would you like to guess a year Herbert Hoover was president?
Oh, yes.
Come on, Max.
48.
Incorrect. 1929 to 1933. Max, your president is Millard Fillmore.
All right.
That is a real name of a former president.
Yes. 35. No. Not 35.
Wait a minute.
All right. 30.
He said 35.
35.
That's your guess.
Yeah,
would you,
35.
Would you
That's
like
wrong.
to?
Yeah, it's way wrong.
Yeah. Would you like to?
Of course, I'd like to guess.
Let's hear it.
He's a pretty old one.
Absolutely.
Probably a little before Lincoln. I'll go 11.
He's 13th. That's a point. Max, the year. Any year he was president.
1812.
No.
I don't know.
No, that's incorrect.
Do I get
When
to
was
guess?
Lincoln
Of course.
18. He was what?
13th.
1840.
No, 1850 to 53.
Come on, dude. Give me a break.
Bob.
This better be easy.
Dwight David Eisenhower.
Wait a minute now.
So
Hold
easy.
on. I gotta
Even
I gave
know
you a
that.
very easy one.
I gotta count backwards. 41. Who was before 40? 39. Carter. 38. Nixon. Ford. 37. Nixon. 36.
That's an easy one.
This is longer than Do You Want to Be a Millionaire?
Lyndon Johnson. 35.
5 seconds.
34. 34.
Correct. 3 points. Years. Any year he was president.
He was president when I was born.
I'd guess that then.
Maybe. To be safe, I'll say 1957.
Yeah, 53-61. The score now, 1-3-8-9, 1-2-3-8-9. 9-9.
Hey, look at me, baby.
9-9.
Do I always come back?
There are history teachers killing themselves right now.
What?
There are history teachers killing themselves right now that we don't know all this stuff.
Max, back to you for Andrew Jackson.
Oh, easy.
Oh, he was like early. 3 or 4. I'll say 3.
Incorrect.
When was he?
He wasn't that early.
Would you like to guess?
I thought he was
Andrew
early.
Jackson was right around the Lincoln years.
He's on the $20 bill.
He sure is.
I'll say 14.
No, he was 7th.
Dang it.
I was close.
Max, a year.
Oh, that's easy.
1816.
Incorrect.
Really?
Yes.
He's got to be close. 1776. And he was what year?
7th.
7th?
Yep.
So 28, 30.
I don't know how many terms they served.
Presidents didn't start in 76. I don't know if
Well,
that's...
they started earlier. But I'm
No,
thinking.
they started later.
No, I know when they started.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay, go for it.
1840.
You did get it within 3 years. 1829 to 1837. So you get a point for that. And we go back to you for William Howard Taft.
William Howard Taft.
Yes.
William Howard Taft.
Yeah, that's right.
11.
No. Max?
You know what? I'm going to have you play this game.
Oh, yeah,
If
really,
you're gonna
exactly.
snicker,
I already played it by setting it up.
William Howard Taft. 12.
I need a guess.
12.
No, he was 27th, ladies and gentlemen.
do I get to guess the years then?
Of course.
27th?
Yep.
Well, we right around the turn of the century, right? 1900.
No, 1909
Oh, come
to
on.
1913.
Are we done with this game?
I mean, I have 2 more rounds.
What's the score?
It is 3, 8, 9, 10, 3, 8, 9. 10 to 9 you.
All right, this is the last round.
Would you like to go the assassinated round
Oh, jeez.
or the multiple term round?
Don't care.
Well, then Max can choose.
Max?
I'll go the multiple turn round.
That's probably the smart play because assassinated, shorter terms. Your president is the great James Madison.
Oh, gosh.
Who?
Everybody knows this one.
Really? Oh, God, I feel stupid then.
Everybody.
James Madison. 19. I don't know. I have no idea.
Well, you get to steal.
That's my guess.
Say it out loud so people can hear
4.
it. Correct. And Max, the year? Zzz.
But I get 3 points for the...
No, you get 1 point for a steal.
Well, that's ridiculous.
That's that's the game.
1786.
Incorrect.
Oh, well. I took a
Would you like to guess?
1805.
No, 1809 to 1870.
Oh, come on, man.
I think you've clinched, but maybe Max can tie, so let's do the last one, and that person is Calvin Coolidge.
Calvin Coolidge.
Yes.
That goes to me, right?
That's to you.
That's Calvin Coolidge. He was the 22nd president of the United States.
Max, would you like to try to steal?
Sure, why not? What do I get to lose?
You can tie the game, so think it through if you...
He's not going to get it.
I doubt he'll get it, but he could get within 3.
24.
Yeah, darn it.
Oh, well.
He was 30th.
That was close.
All right, there's
A
your...
year?
Nah, I don't want. I already won.
You already won.
Oh, Max could steal, though.
No. But he couldn't tie.
He couldn't tie, but he could.
I already won. I clinched it.
Max, would you like to guess a year?
No.
This is miserable.
23
enough.
to 29.
Miserable.
You didn't like that game? I kind of enjoyed it. You won. You happy?
Yeah, I came back to win.
You did a good job. You got 2 on the nose with Eisenhower.
Good effort. This is always a strange time of year because baseball is at its apex, but it's coming to an end, and we got to prepare for these colder fall evenings and football and winter, and
we're gonna have all 4 sports going in their seasons pretty soon.
NBA starts next Tuesday, right?
Sure.
Is that right?
I don't know.
I
honestly.
thought you knew that.
I don't.
Well, I thought you were an NBA guy.
I don't know when they start. I haven't looked at that yet.
Well, the Pacers are near and dear to your heart,
I know,
aren't
and
they?
I've been following the Pacers and their goings-on in the off-season and their exhibition games, but I haven't locked in on when it starts. Or I believe the Pacers play the Hawks.
We've got next Tuesday is the opening night.
Okay.
There's 2 games. It's a TNT doubleheader. Knicks, Celtics, Timberwolves, Lakers.
It makes a lot of sense for those teams to be on national television.
You open against the Detroit Pistons the following night. I
was wrong.
That night we have an ESPN doubleheader. Bucks, Sixers, the opener. Suns, Clippers, playing the late game. So there you go.
Better beat Detroit on night 1. That's all I can say.
It's at Detroit.
Nah.
Detroit's having one of those years, man. The baseball team was better than anybody thought. Their football team's top of the line.
Red Wings beat the Preds the other night.
I don't care about that. That's something you'll never get me interested in.
I'm not trying to get you interested.
Please don't talk about it.
I'm just telling you.
Even Duda doesn't care.
Yes, he does.
Not about regular season hockey.
Well, I bet I could talk hockey with him occasionally.
He likes the playoffs.
Whenever I get a chance to lock in on hockey, which will be tough, but I'll give it a shot. I watched some of that game the other night. Preds did not look good.
I want to lock in on the Penguin on Max.
With Will Ferrell?
There it is again. You feel better about yourself?
That was pretty funny yesterday. You guys had us going.
You feel better about yourself?
No, not really.
That's all you're trying to do is feel better about yourself.
Oh, speaking of which, when Jesse said that Bowling for Soup has a song called 1979, that's a Smashing Pumpkins song. Bowling for Soup song is 1985.
Why didn't you tell Jesse that?
I just didn't want to make him look bad. And
that's what you're all about, into making people look bad.
I don't know if that's true.
That's what these games have turned into.
You think?
I want to ridicule Max and my dad. And what game can I come up with that'll make them look the dumbest?
Shouldn't the games be difficult? You don't want an easy game,
but
do you?
nobody. I've heard of all the presidents, and there was a time. You know, out in grade school,
I could probably name all the presidents. I could probably
not in order.
I could probably not name them. I definitely could not name them in order.
You couldn't, and I'd bet $1,000 you couldn't name them all.
I think I could.
Give me 2 weeks, because it's kind of fresh in your memory now.
A little.
2 weeks from now, I'll bet you 1,000.
A lot will have happened in 2 weeks.
Are you good? 2 weeks from today. No, that'd give you 2 weeks to study.
I won't study.
All right. Well, we're about out of time.
Already?
Darn it.
Goodness gracious. What were you going to ask me?
I was just going to ask you to name them all.
We are as many presidents away from, I believe it was McKinley and JFK as we are JFK to now.
Fine. Well, JFK was a president a long time ago.
It might not have been McKinley. But that's crazy, isn't it?
61 years ago, JFK was assassinated. 61 years.
Yeah.
It's etched in time. I'll never, obviously, as long as my mind works, never forget where I was. Never forget what happened. Never forget the fallout. Never forget our teacher Mrs. Robinson freaking out.
Do you think if any president got assassinated today, that it would be a big deal in schools? Do you think they would come over the loudspeaker like
I don't
that?
know, probably, yeah. All right, thanks for listening, everyone. We appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow.